Let me ask you something that might make you uncomfortable for a second. What if everything you've been told about success is wrong? What if becoming incredibly successful, we're talking millionaire level successful, has almost nothing to do with luck or genetics or even intelligence? After studying hundreds of self made millionaires for years, I can tell you with absolute certainty that their success comes down to just 7 specific habits. And here's the best part: every single one of these habits is something you can start implementing today, no matter where you're starting from. This isn't just motivational fluff. These are the exact same patterns I've seen in everyone from Warren Buffett to Oprah Winfrey to Elon Musk. They all think differently, act differently, and most importantly, they have daily routines that compound over time into extraordinary results. By the time we're done today, you'll have a complete blueprint you can use to completely transform your life. Let's start with what I consider the foundation of all success, and it's probably not what you think. The most successful people on the planet share one obsessive habit: they never, ever stop learning. I'm not talking about casual reading here and there. I mean a relentless, almost compulsive dedication to acquiring new knowledge every single day. Take Warren Buffett. He estimates that he spends about 80% of his working day reading. That's 5 to 6 hours of reading every single day, even now in his 90s. Or look at Elon Musk. When he decided to start SpaceX, he didn't have an aerospace engineering degree. So what did he do? He taught himself rocket science by reading textbooks and talking to experts. Here's why this matters so much: knowledge compounds. Every piece of information you learn today makes you slightly more valuable tomorrow. And over months and years, that compounding effect becomes staggering. The problem is that most people stop serious learning after they finish school. They might read the occasional book or article, but they don't have a system for continuous, deliberate learning. So, how can you implement this? First, adopt the 5 hour rule: at least 1 hour per day, 5 days a week dedicated to learning. That could be reading books, focus on biographies, business, psychology, and history, taking online courses, or listening to educational podcasts during your commute. Second, always apply what you're learning immediately. If you read about a new productivity technique, test it out that same week. Third, keep a learning journal where you write down key insights and action steps. The most successful people treat their minds like a high performance engine. They're constantly fueling it with premium information. Because here's the truth: in today's world, the person who knows more has an almost unfair advantage. And that advantage is available to anyone willing to put in the consistent work. Now, all that knowledge won't do much good if you don't have the energy to use it. Which brings us to the second millionaire habit: treating your health as your most valuable asset. This is where most ambitious people fail spectacularly. They burn the candle at both ends, eat like garbage, and then wonder why they can't perform at their best. The millionaires I've studied understand something fundamental: your body is the vehicle for all your success. If you break it down, you're out of the game. Look at Jeff Bezos. He makes 8 hours of sleep non negotiable because he knows his decision making suffers without it. Twitter founder Jack Dorsey runs every single morning. Ray Dalio, the millionaire founder of Bridgewater Associates, meditates twice daily for mental clarity. Here's the uncomfortable truth: you can't hustle your way past biology. When you're sleep deprived, your IQ drops, your willpower evaporates, and your decision making becomes impaired. When you eat processed junk food, your energy levels crush. When you never exercise, your brain doesn't function at its peak. So, what does this look like in practice? First, protect your sleep like your life depends on it, because your success does. Aim for 7 to 8 hours every night, no exceptions. Second, move your body daily, even if it's just a 30-minute walk. Exercise isn't just about looking good. It boosts cognitive function, reduces stress, and increases energy. Third, eat like an athlete. Focus on high-quality proteins, healthy fats, and plenty of vegetables. Cut out the processed sugars and junk that make you crash. Remember, every decision you make about your health is either an investment in your future success or a withdrawal from it. The most successful people treat their bodies like high performance machines because they understand that energy is the currency of achievement. Now that we've covered learning and health, let's talk about something that ties them both together: how millionaires structure their time. This is where we get into the third habit: waking up early and mastering time management. When you study the routines of ultra successful people, one pattern becomes undeniable. They all start their days early. Apple CEO Tim Cook wakes up at 3:45 a.m. Oprah Winfrey is up before sunrise. Why? Because those early morning hours are golden. They're quiet, distraction free, and full of potential. But here's what most people misunderstand: it's not just about waking up early, it's about what you do with that time. The most successful people use their mornings for what I call high leverage activities, the things that will actually move the needle in their lives: exercise, planning, working on their most important goals. So, how can you implement this? First, start shifting your wake up time gradually, 15 minutes earlier each week until you reach your target. Second, structure your morning around three key activities: movement, exercise, mindset, meditation or journaling, and most important task, working on your number one goal. Third, use time blocking. Actually schedule every hour of your day in advance instead of just reacting to whatever comes up. The millionaire approach to time management comes down to one principle: be intentional. Most people let their days happen to them. Successful people design their days deliberately. They understand that time is the one resource you can't get more of, so they guard it jealously and use it wisely. All this brings us to the fourth habit: planning ahead with precision. This is where we separate the dreamers from the doers. Millionaires don't just have vague aspirations, they have detailed, actionable plans. Bill Gates is famous for his meticulous yearly planning. Elon Musk plans his time in 5-minute blocks. There's a reason for this obsessive planning. Clarity creates results. When you know exactly what you need to do and when you need to do it, you eliminate wasted time and energy. Here's how to apply this. First, set 3 to 5 major goals for the year. These should be big, exciting targets that push you out of your comfort zone. Second, break those annual goals down into quarterly, monthly, and weekly objectives. What needs to happen this quarter to stay on track? This month? This week? Third, implement a weekly review system where you assess your progress and adjust your plan accordingly. The key insight here is that success is built on consistent execution of the right activities. Planning turns your big goals into daily actions. Without it, even the most ambitious dreams remain just that: dreams. Now, no matter how good your plans are, you're going to face setbacks. Which brings us to the fifth millionaire habit: resilience and perseverance through failure. Here's a truth most people don't want to hear: every single millionaire has failed, often catastrophically. Steve Jobs was fired from the company he founded. Oprah was told she wasn't fit for television. What separated them wasn't a lack of failure, but how they responded to it. The millionaire mindset sees failure differently. It's not the end, it's data, it's feedback, it's tuition you pay on your way to success. When most people hit obstacles, they give up. When millionaires hit obstacles, they learn, adjust, and keep moving forward. So, how do you develop this resilience? First, reframe how you see failure. Instead of "I failed," ask, "What did I learn?" Second, implement the 24-hour rule. Allow yourself one day to feel disappointed, then get back to work. Third, focus on solutions, not problems. When something goes wrong, immediately ask, "What's the next step?" Remember, success isn't about avoiding failure. That's impossible. It's about failing forward, using each setback as a stepping stone to something greater. Now let's talk about a habit that might surprise you: living below your means. In our social media age where everyone flaunts their wealth, this might seem counterintuitive. But here's the reality: most millionaires are actually quite frugal. Warren Buffett still lives in the same house he bought in 1958 for $31,500. Mark Zuckerberg drives modest cars. There's a profound lesson here. Wealth isn't about what you spend, it's about what you keep and invest. The math is simple. If you spend everything you earn, you'll never build wealth. But if you consistently spend less than you earn and invest the difference, you create financial freedom. Here's how to implement this. First, pay yourself first. Automatically save 20% of your income before you pay any bills. Second, avoid lifestyle inflation. Just because you get a raise doesn't mean you need a fancier car or bigger house. Third, educate yourself about investing, whether it's index funds, real estate, or starting a business. The millionaire approach to money is about delayed gratification. They understand that true wealth comes from assets, not appearances. Finally, we come to the most important habit of all, taking radical responsibility for your life. This is the foundation everything else is built on. Millionaires don't blame the economy or their upbringing or bad luck. They understand a fundamental truth. You are either the author of your life or the victim of circumstances. There is no middle ground. This mindset shift is everything. When you take full responsibility, you stop waiting for permission or perfect conditions. You stop making excuses. You realize that if your life is going to change, it's up to you to change it. How do you cultivate this? First, eliminate blame from your vocabulary, no more, if only statements. Second, focus on what you can control: your effort, your attitude, your daily habits. Third, start each day with the question, what can I do today to move closer to my goals? Here's what I want you to take away. Success isn't about being perfect. It's about consistently applying these 7 habits, day after day, year after year. The compound effect is staggering. Start today. Pick one habit to focus on this week. Master it, then move to the next. Remember, you don't need to be born a genius or get lucky. You just need to develop the habits of success. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these 7 habits are you going to work on first? Let me know in the comments, and let's make this your most successful year yet.